You may or may not know, but I like Japanese stuff. Here's CDs, a thing that came with one, DVDs, vinyl records, comics, art books, and this poster. I'd change one thing, and it's not detexting. That's the second thing. My desktop looks like this. This time we'll be focusing on this ghost sweeping thing. You know, that show with 45 episodes and a feature film contains a jazzy theme tune, but we are here to go technical. So here's the TV series collection thing. Front, back, side, discs. We have the main menu with the instrumental version of the theme song, then a special features menu containing previews in disc 1 and some extras in disc 2. Previews menu looks like this. DVD credits menu looks like this. Each episode is its own title. Chaptering goes like this. Intro is its own chapter. First half of the episode is its own. Second half is its own. The preview part for the next episode is its own. The credits have their own chapter, and then the credits after the credits. The aspect ratio is the standard 4:3. They haven't changed it, and it's good. About the image, I haven't seen it on LCD, but on my CRT it looks pretty good. There are some compression artifacts, but they are in scenes that contain a lot of action anyway, but it looks great. Now, the image master has some dirt and scratches. They haven't remastered it, but it's not necessary, it's good. And this is how film content should be in the first place. Some dirt and scratches. Audio is in Japanese. Technical info shows English, stereo, but has centered mono in it in 224 kbps. There's no dubs present, good thing. There's English subtitles. The disc sizes are 6.20 gigabytes on 1.1, 5.92 gigabytes on 1.2, 5.22 gigabytes on 2.1, 5.88 gigabytes on 2.2, 5.20 gigabytes on 3.1, 5.28 gigabytes on 3.2, 5.18 gigabytes on 4.1 and 5.87 gigabytes on 4.2, which means less compression could have been used easily. Now, interesting occurrence happens in Collection 3 Disc 1 Title 2. You have to navigate to it manually. You see, the previews have their own titles according to their aspect ratios. This disc has no 4:3 ones, so this happens. It's not supposed to be seen, but it's there anyway. Oh yeah, and the subtitles sorta change language every other episode. I have the movie on 2 discs, the UK PAL disc and the Japanese NTSC disc. UK disc first. We have the main menu, scene selection menu, language options menu and some special features. For chapters, the movie is split into 12 chapters. Not much. The aspect ratio is 1.78 to 1, though technically it's 4:3 image. At this point I'd like to say something. This is 1.661 image on 4:3 frame. It's usually called fake widescreen. Pretend you see the next thing in widescreen. It's 2.35 to 1 frame on 1.78 to 1 frame. Using the logic of the former, it would be fake widescreen too. Back to sweeping ghosts. The image, which the case claims to be remastered, does not look like it and is good enough, though it could be a bit better though. As for audio tracks, we have Japanese stereo centered mono 224 kbps, English 2.0 384 kbps and English 5.1 448 kbps. The disc defaults to the English 2.0 track. Contains also English subtitles, but they are off by default. The disc is 4.21 gigabytes and is DVD5, while the series is DVD9s all the way. Then there's the Japanese disc, which I got for a few reasons. There's only the main menu and chapter selection menu. So there's only 10 chapters this time, which kinda sucks. The aspect ratio this time is again 1.78:1, but is technically 16:9 format. The menus are also 16:9, but they show up in pan and scan when viewed in 4:3 format. This time the image has been remastered, and there's a noticeable difference when comparing the two. As for audio, there's Japanese 2.0 centered mono at 384 kbps. No subtitles present. The disc size is 3.79 gigabytes and is again a DVD5. Now, the reason I got the Japanese disc is the changed credit roll. When the credits begin in the UK disc, we can see this frame. Then there's this beautiful frame, and then there's this frame, which eventually fades into this. And when the credits end, we can see this frame. The background fades out and we see this frame. And in the next frame, we can see the film material appearing for the final scene after the credits. Is another reason you should watch credits. You never know what you might miss. Insert joke here. In Japanese disc we have this frame and then the start of the correct credits roll. Also the first 3 seconds of blackness is replaced with a title card. It's very noticeable if you look at it frame by frame. There's this frame, and then the title card fades in and the opposite happens and actual film footage fades in. One of the differences between discs is the image quality. Now, the quality is not much better in the Japanese disc. Here's why. PAL DVD is 720x576, NTSC DVD is 720x480. When we crop the bars off, we can see that the UK DVD has approximately 432 pixels of height used. NTSC DVD uses this whole height, which is 480 pixels, and it being in 16:9 is not counted as it's technically a 4:3 frame, even more technically 3:2 frame, which needs to be stretched to be viewed correctly. Had it been in 16:9 in the PAL DVD, it would use 576 pixels for height. Then there's framing. Here's an image I'll reuse, but you can notice some differences in the framing. Here's extracted examples from the left side, top, bottom and the right side of the image. Then the UK disc has visible real change marks. Japanese disc doesn't have these. Either they dug out a print that doesn't have them or they removed them digitally or something. Another interesting thing, the speech that happens in the Japanese audio track during the opening logo happens in the correct spot in the Japanese audio track and in the subtitle track, but for some reason the English dub has it in this spot before this subtitling comes in, and it continues a small while when the subtitling appears. The English audio track contains other differences like music changes, sound effect changes, dialogue timing changes, and instead of mono it's stereo or 5.1, and that is something I don't get. If the original is mono, why make it 5.1 in the first place? Just leave it at mono, damn it! What did just happen? But yeah, I've only watched the opening and end credits with the dub, and of course the final scene after the credits. I prefer the original voices. Note, I don't like it when people say original Japanese dub or something like that. Though it technically may be dub, I see it's pointless to say it if it originates from Japan. Applies to other things too. And then, if the thing in question is a co-production, it's not always clear what the original language is. Example time, even though Sherlock Hound originates from Japan, I've heard that the scripts were originally in English and then they were translated to Italian and Japanese. So yeah, but back to business. Speaking of ghost sweeping, there's this CD single release that contains the vocal songs used in the movie and their off-vocal versions. But if you want the full versions, you may want to get this one instead, even though the tracks are a bit louder in this one. Note loudness 4 sucks. Give back the dynamic range that we had in the good old days. The TV series discs don't have any copy protection. Both discs of the movie I have contain a copy protection, and that's pretty much it. So I tried to do something new using me voice, of which I hate when it's recorded. If you're still here, I'll give you a cookie. I hope this turned out okay, and I'll see you somewhere else. Or never again. How do I know? Now go watch some. Kono ghost no sweepa, mikami reikoga, kokurakue, ikasete ageruwa.